guys, I'm Megan. Welcome to our Daring Faith series. We're so glad that you are here joining us this week. In this series, we're learning all about how we can be people of daring faith. We'll be looking at different people in the Bible who had incredible faith in God and learn how we can have the same unwavering faith in God too. To help better understand this, we're going to sing a song about our memory verse, which is Ephesians 3:20, and it says, "With God's power working in us, God can do much, much more than anything we can ask or imagine." Let's sing it together.
With God's power working in us, God can do much, much more than anything we can ask or imagine. Ephesians 3:20. With God's power working in us, God can do much, much more than anything we can ask or imagine. Ephesians 3:20. With God's power working in us, God can do much, much more than anything we can ask or imagine. Ephesians 3:20.
That was a great song. That worship song teaches us that God can do such incredible things. He has great things planned for our lives. He can do big things that may seem impossible for us, but with God on our side, anything is possible. Now it's time to watch our Bible story, where we see an example of how we can have daring faith and how we can depend on God in all situations. Let's watch and see what happens.
There once was a king of Persia named Darius, who chose a Jewish man named Daniel to lead part of his kingdom. Daniel soon proved himself more capable than all the leaders, so the king made plans to place him over the entire kingdom. So the other leaders began searching for some fault in Daniel, but Daniel was faithful, always responsible, and completely trustworthy. So they decided to attack Daniel's faith in God. They went to King Darius and said, "The king should give orders that any person who prays to anyone except to the king will be thrown into the den of lions. And now, your majesty, issue and sign this law so that it cannot be changed." So King Darius signed the law. When Daniel learned of this, he went home and he prayed, just as he had always done, giving thanks to God. Soon the leaders would come and punish Daniel because he had broken the law. But Daniel continued to pray because he knew that God would deliver him from whatever might come.
What a great Bible story. This Bible story helped us to learn more about how we can believe in God even when we are facing difficult circumstances. We can take comfort in knowing that God's promises are true. God's word tells us that He will always be with us and that He loves us more than we can ever imagine. Now it's time to hear from Pastor Steve and learn more about how we can be people of daring faith. Let's watch it together.
Hi guys. Now this story about Daniel is a pretty popular story as well, but I want to help you understand what happened before the story you just saw. You see, when Daniel was just a kid, maybe your age even, he lived in a place called Judah, and he was taken as a slave and brought to this place called Babylon. And he grew up in Babylon his entire life, and now Daniel is an old man, even older than me. And he was serving a different king. This king's name was King Darius. King Darius really liked Daniel. And in fact, he liked him so much, he put Daniel in charge of a lot of people. He was a pretty high-ranking official in King Darius's kingdom. Well, there were some other people who weren't very happy about that, and they wanted to get rid of Daniel, so they tricked King Darius into making a law that said that you could only pray to King Darius. But wait a minute. Daniel was a servant of God. Daniel knew that one of the commands that God gave was you're not to worship anyone else but God. There was no way Daniel was going to pray to this guy, King Darius. So Daniel did it because Daniel was willing to do what was right, even though everyone else was doing something else. You see, he took initiative. That means he didn't wait around for someone else to do what was right first. He took the initiative and he did what was right because he had daring faith. He knew that God would be with him. He had mighty faith, and God was with him, and God did protect him. And God will do the same thing for you and I. So no matter what else is going on around you, no matter what other kids are doing, you can take the initiative and do what is right. You can show mighty faith, daring faith, just like Daniel. And God will be with you, and God will bless you for doing it. Now, we're going to check in with our friends in space, Hank and Charlie, and see what predicament they're in this week.
Wow! Pastor Steve helped us to understand how we can have daring faith by believing and trusting in God's promises. Regardless of what we're going through, we can choose to have daring faith by believing in who God says He is. Now, we're going to watch an episode of Daring Faith where we will see two brothers, Hank and Charlie, embark on a journey together to space. They are on a mission to save the world. Let's watch it together.
If you're watching this, then something has gone horribly wrong with the mission. Or it's gone exactly as planned, which is horribly wrong. What I mean is, look, I don't know why you were chosen for this mission. I don't know what they intend to do with you.
You said you knew what you were doing.
I did know what I was doing.
Oh, really? Why are we crawling around in the dark with a fried Xbox? Down here.
What's that?
I think it's some kind of door or something.
Well, you gonna open it?
What do I have to open it?
Well, because you're closer.
Okay, I've got the light. You could at least help me open it. Look, do you want to be stuck on the ship with me forever, or help me find a way to talk to Mission Control?
Fine.
Let's
Do it together. What is this place?
It's the original flight deck.
Original flight deck.
Yeah. It's a Class 7 C9 interstellar carrier. They originally commissioned these things back in like 2020. And they're supposed to be manned ships, but then Blast, after a few test missions, decided to completely gut the inside and rewire them so they could be flown remotely. They can practically fly these things without like anyone on board. Wow. What?
How do you know all this?
Google. Oh, check it out. Backup generator.
Wait, so have you ever thought about why we're here then?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, if they can fly this thing remotely or whatever, why do they need us on here?
That's actually a pretty good question. Oh, check it out, radio.
Hank, I don't think anything in here works.
Well, I think we could find some original parts and maybe rewire them. Make it work for us, I don't know.
If you're such a Google master, Why don't you Google Christopher Columbus? Line up, Hank. It's just a joke. Hank? Hank? Hello? Okay, haha. Very funny, man. I don't get it, but... Hank. Okay, snap out of it, man.
Initiating detonation sequence.
All right, this is just getting a little bit creepy, so just come back. Hank, what are you doing? What is that? Where'd you get those keys? No. What are you doing?
You're
joking me, Hank. Joking me, Hank. Stop it. Touch anything. Touch the initiating headlight.
Oh, what just happened?
What do you mean? Seriously? What's going on, man? Why do you keep freaking out whenever you see that red button?
I don't know. I feel.
Hey, Hank. What's going on?
Okay, I get it. I've been doing this like 1 trillion times.
So, why were they training you? And why can't you remember it?
There was a guy, and he had a penny.
Penny?
Oh, finally. Feels like I've been in here for like a month. What are we doing here?
This is a very important part of your training.
Oh. Okay. Unfortunately, your cute little trick is not going to work on me because I'm in fact immune to,
Can you hear my voice, Mr. Dasher?
yes.
Good. Then let's begin.
What a great episode of Daring Faith! We learned more about Hank and Charlie's mission while seeing how the two of them got themselves into a hilarious situation. Remember, in order for Hank and Charlie to accomplish their mission to save the world, they will need to have Daring Faith. Now it's time to join Space Go for our Daring Faith quiz, where we will get to see how much we remember from our Bible story. If you think you know the answer, make sure to shout it out! Let's go ahead and join Space Go for our Daring Faith quiz.
Challenger. For thousands of years, people have looked up to the stars and wondered what's beyond. Thoughts of distant galaxies, strange planets, and possibly even life unlike any we've known on Earth. But no one could have ever imagined in the deep expanse of our universe lives one furry creature with 4 legs and a jetpack. Bah. His name is Space Goat, and he's here to help you, and he's here to help us, here to help us answer life's toughest questions. Who did the law say to worship? King Darius? King Tut? King James? Darius. Well done, cadets. What did Daniel do even though he might be punished for it? Watched too much on Netflix? Ate junk food? Prayed to God? Good job, cadets. Daniel prayed to God even though he might be punished for it. How did Daniel prove he was mighty? Through prayer? By doing push-ups? Or sumo wrestling? Good job, everybody! Daniel proved he was mighty through prayer. Until next time, stay spacey, cadets.
Challenger, go and throttle up.
Great job on that quiz. Remember, we can have daring faith by putting our hope and trust in God at all times. He knows what's best for us and promises to always take care of us. Well, that's it for today. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.